my crafty creatures, and thank you for tuning into this video. This one I'm going to be doing an overall dress, and I made it with some Kawaii marble fabric, which have some of my favorite characters on there. So I hope you guys like it, and if you want to see what I did, just stay tuned to the video. Taking my measuring tape, I measured how long I wanted the skirt to be, starting at my waist. Then I took that measurement and folded the fabric into fours, and then cut that length using the full width of the fabric. Using a pattern I made for the top of the overalls, I'm going to cut out two pieces, a lining and an outer fabric. If you want to know how I made this, I will leave it on my blog. You can go into the description to find the link, and you can go there to get the description on how to make this. Taking the measuring tape, I'm going to measure around my hips at the widest point, and then I'll add a few inches, maybe 5 to 10, just so I can make sure that it will easily slide over my hips once I put the elastic in. Now, using that measurement, I cut out two strips for the waistband that are 2.5 inches thick. Since I didn't want to clean up the raw edges, I just left the white strip on the end of the fabric there and just sewed as close to that line as possible on both sides of the skirt. Before moving on to the hem, I just pressed out the side seams, and that'll make it easier for when I'm rolling the hem up. Using my hem template, I'm going to fold over 1/2 inch and iron that into place, and I'll do this twice to encase the raw edge. Now, taking it to my sewing machine, I'm just going to sew as close to the edge as possible, and then I'll have the hem done. Moving to the top of the skirt, I'm going to place two basting stitches right next to each other at the top so that I can gather the fabric together. I'll do my best to explain this, but taking two threads from the same side of the fabric, going in the same direction, I tied them together and left the other side untied. Now, moving to the other side of the fabric, I did the exact same thing, but I tied the opposite threads together. Moving on to the waistband, I folded over 1/2 inch and then ironed that into place. I did forget to add this into the video, but I did add interfacing to the waistband later on. Once I had that finished, I just sewed the ends together for both pieces of the waistband. Now I'm sewing both pieces of the waistband to the top of the skirt. When I pinned this, I made sure that I covered the basting stitch all the way around. Now I'm going to do a straight stitch close to the edge to seal that part in. For the top part of the skirt, I made sure that the fabrics were facing right sides together, and then I just did a straight stitch 1/2 inch away from the edge all the way around the top part of it, leaving the bottom open. Now I'm just snipping off the corners so that it lays flat when I flip it right sides out. Now I'm just placing the top of the skirt on the inside of the waistband, making sure that I have the right sides facing each other. Taking a piece of elastic that I've already measured to make sure that it fit halfway around my back, I am placing it into the waistband and just doing a straight stitch to hold it in place, and then I'll do the same for the opposite side. To make the straps, I cut a piece that was long enough to go over my shoulder and that was 4 inches in width, so that when I folded it all together, it would end up being 1 inch thick. And then I'm just snipping a little piece at the end so that I can sew it straight down and not have it bunched up. After finishing that, I just did a straight stitch along the full length of either side of the strap. After I pinned the straps into place, I just did a top stitch along the top edge of the waistband to close the elastic into it. Guys for watching this video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. But before you go ahead down below and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video, or you can watch my last one. I hope to see you soon, guys.